The global trade landscape just got a whole lot bumpier. On April 2nd, 2025, the Trump administration detonated a tariff bomb, sending shockwaves through international markets and leaving many wondering, what the hell is going on? This wasn't just a minor tweak or a targeted strike. We're talking about a full-blown tariff offensive, impacting goods from virtually every corner of the globe. The move has been met with a mixture of confusion, anger, and a healthy dose of apprehension. Allies and rivals alike are scrambling to assess the damage and strategize their response. One thing is certain, these tariffs are not just about trade. They represent a fundamental shift in American economic policy, one with potentially far-reaching consequences for the global economy. It's going to be a bumpy ride. So how exactly do these new tariffs work? Well, imagine a two-tiered system like a fancy wedding cake, except instead of delicious frosting, it's coated in tariffs. The bottom tier, the one everyone gets a slice of, is a baseline 10% tariff applied to all imported goods, regardless of their origin. That's right, folks. Everything from Chinese electronics to French wine just got a little bit more expensive. But wait, there's more. The top tier, the one reserved for special guests, consists of higher, targeted tariffs on 60 countries that have the audacity to, sell more to the US than they buy in return. China, the usual suspect in these trade spats, finds itself slapped with a whopping 54% tariff. Not to be outdone, the European Union is hit with a 20% tariff, while other key trading partners like Canada, South Korea, and Japan also face significant levies. This two-tiered approach is designed to achieve two things. First, to raise revenue for the US government, because who needs taxes when you have tariffs? And second, to pressure trading partners, particularly those with large trade surpluses with the US, to make concessions and open up their markets to American goods and services. Now, you might be asking yourself, what's the grand plan here? Surely there's a method to this tariff plan. Well, according to the Trump administration, these tariffs are all part of a master plan to make America great again, in the economic arena, at least. The official line is that these tariffs are essential to protect American jobs, reduce the trade deficit, and restore America's manufacturing might. Trump and his supporters argue that decades of unfair trade practices by other countries have hollowed out American manufacturing, cost millions of jobs, and left the U.S. with a gaping trade deficit. These tariffs, they contend, are simply a way to level the playing field, force other countries to play by the rules, and bring back those lost manufacturing jobs. Whether these tariffs will actually achieve these lofty goals is a matter of intense debate. Critics argue that they are more likely to harm American consumers and businesses, spark a global trade war, and ultimately damage the U.S. economy. Only time will tell who's right. Let's be clear. Imposing sweeping tariffs like these is a risky gamble, akin to playing poker with the global economy. If Trump's bet pays off, maybe, just maybe, we'll see a resurgence in American manufacturing and a shrinking trade deficit. However, if his gamble backfires, the consequences could be severe, both for the United States and the global economy. One of the most immediate risks is a sharp rise in consumer prices. Tariffs are essentially taxes on imported goods, and businesses will inevitably pass those costs on to consumers in the form of higher prices. This means everything from cars and appliances to clothing and food could become significantly more expensive for American households. Another major concern is the potential for retaliatory tariffs from other countries. When one country imposes tariffs, it's only natural for other countries to retaliate with tariffs of their own. This can quickly escalate into a tit-for-tat trade war, with each side raising tariffs higher and higher, hurting businesses and consumers in the process. We've seen this movie before, and normally it doesn't end well. The stated goals are ambitious: reduce the trade deficit, revive American manufacturing, and gain leverage in trade negotiations. But the risks are significant. Higher prices for consumers, retaliatory tariffs, global supply chain disruptions, and the very real possibility of a global recession. Whether these tariffs will achieve their intended goals or simply inflict pain on American consumers and businesses remains to be seen. One thing is for sure: the global trade landscape has been irrevocably altered, and the aftershocks of this tariff bomb will be felt for years to come. Time will tell.